This is Miguel, Jared, and Greg of Arkaik, and you are listening to The Ritual with Lady Death on Metal Messiah Radio.
Hello everybody, this is Lady Death and you are listening to The Ritual on Metal Messiah Radio. Today the vocalist Jared Christensen and the guitarist Greg Paulson and Miguel Esparza of the American progressive death metal band Arkaik are joining us to talk about the band, their albums and more. First of all, let me thank you for giving us a bit of your time, all of you, and welcome to my show.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having us.
Alright.
Thank you both.
Jared, since you are the only remaining founding member, give us a short piece about Arkaik.
I started Arkaik in 2003, 2004. I was a sophomore in high school. Started it with one of my best friends, Chance Strickland. And we played in high school for a while. When we got out of high school, we wanted to keep doing music. So we hooked up with a couple other guys and kind of got serious and looked at, the labels that were out, and one of our favorite labels at the time was Unique Leader Records for putting out a lot of bands that we had been influenced by and stuff. So we recorded a few demos over the years and got some response from Unique Leader. We got signed in 2010 or 2009 and we put out our first album in 2010. With Unique Leader. But yeah, that was with pretty much a different lineup altogether than what we have right now. But that's basically it. Band I started in high school, one of my buddies, and we went through a lot of members just because sometimes they're not super serious about it, especially when you're younger. So we went through a bunch of members and then we got a solid lineup and got signed, and then here we are now, I guess.
After your first full-length album, Existential Chaos, released back in 2007, you got signed, as you said, with Unique Leader Records. How did that happen? I mean, this is a big label in somehow, and you were a new band in somehow as well, with one released album only.
Yeah, well, kind of happened from us playing shows in California. Unique Leaders, a California-based record label, been playing all around Southern California. And we actually met Obi Flett from Inherit Disease, the vocalist, at a murder fest in LA, and he caught our set and really liked it. He knew Eric Lindmark from Unique Leader, the owner, personally, and recommended us and kind of got us in front of Eric, and that's pretty much how it happened. But we had to be playing shows. That happened because we were out playing local shows and trying to get on shows with bigger bands and stuff, and we just kind of got lucky, met somebody, and got in there.
Greg and Miguel, you joined them after the release of their third album, Metamorphignition, which was released back in 2013. How did that happen? And did you face any difficulty in the beginning to feel that chemistry with them?
I guess the music in itself is challenging and technical music. And I remember I had 2 weeks to learn a set for a tour or something. So I think at first it was just definitely a challenge for me. I mean, I played this style of technical death metal before. I just think playing live is kind of the biggest thing for me now, getting used to that and really feeling more comfortable on stage. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a pretty good fit in general.
It wasn't much of a difficulty. It was definitely a challenge because the original lineup right there with Metamorphignition. So pretty much the lineup there before it's Craig Peters and then Chance Strickland. And what was written there was, I would say it was more of a challenge, and it was really enjoyable. The band himself, the guys welcomed us in pretty much. Yeah, well, I would say with Greg and Miguel, they kind of just meshed into the band. There was kind of good chemistry right from the bat. Yeah, I felt pretty comfortable. It was Alex Bent was the one that I'm really good. I've been really good friends with Alex Bent for years, and he was the one that let me know to try out, and I tried out, and seemed to go all smooth and well from there. Yeah, because when Miguel joined the band, it was kind of he had already played in bands with Alex before, so they already had that chemistry from playing together before, and they're good friends and stuff. So.
All right. So you released recently your fourth album, Lucid Dawn, last year on October the 30th. How was your first recording experience with the guys, Miguel? What were mainly your influences in your guitar composing?
The first time with you guys is great. Definitely a learning experience because on this way I was used to just recording just on the spot on the studio. But on this way, in this route, we started doing DI tracking.
Yeah.
But it definitely went really smooth. Pretty much the writing process we'd come up with riffs and we'll send it to each other through email.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll definitely just dissect them and pick the ones that are the best fitted for the songs and arrange them that way. But as an influences, I know Greg was really into necrophages.
In terms of death metal, I like a lot of I like Bloodbath and Morbid Angel and Deicide and Decapitated stuff and newer Surreption, and then obviously Necrophagist is a huge influence of mine for the technical stuff.
Yeah.
Spawn of Possession, Obscura, Fallujah, yeah, the list goes on.
They definitely Greg and Miguel, they have different influences and even maybe different influences from our last guitar players and stuff.
Yeah.
But they're all similar still in a way. We all still like the same bands and are influenced by the same kind of sound, heavy, challenging, technical, fast stuff.
All right. So, Lucid Dawn is a bit different than your previous releases. You landed a more deathcore style and somehow maybe. How comes that?
Well, I think it's pretty challenging musically.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted to keep the groove sections lasting longer and have it so try to keep that balance between musicians, liking it for musicality part, and then just your average metal fan or listener that can still, we didn't want to do as many tangents. I feel a lot of technical death metal bands just go on long tangents and they put 50 different riffs in a song and stuff, and we were just trying to write better songs basically and throw some more heavier chunky stuff in there.
You still think that you are maintaining the same consistency nowadays, but you're just trying to add more groove stuff?
Yeah, just a different element. Yeah, we're I don't think we're really trying to do anything particular either. We're just trying to write songs that are fun to play live that transfer well, like energy-wise. And because you can, with our style of music and our like subgenre, a lot of times the guitar players, you know, all the musicians are just standing on stage playing like, you know, stuff that's really cool, like and challenging and whatnot. But it's so challenging, or it's so like it takes so much concentration and effort that you're just kind of like a statue. And like we wanted to try to make the songs so they're fun to play and not just like wheedling around on the guitar.
I think a lot of like technical death metal these days is like really kind of over the top and just like crazy nonstop, and then the technical death metal bands will forget about like song structure and like heaviness, and it just is like one big wank fest. And I think what we're trying to do a little differently is like combine the technicality with song structure and groove and hooks and stuff, which is kind of harder to do than it sounds.
This is Miguel, Jared,
And Greg.
of Arkaik, and you are listening to The Ritual with Lady Death on Metal Messiah Radio.
So this question is for Jared. Usually you talk about spiritual and intellectual awakening and stuff like that. What does inspire you, and why you pick such as subjects to talk about?
The subjects and themes and stuff are mostly from just the stuff that me and Chance, the original other co-founder, who still is kind of like the invisible sixth member of the band. He still comes up with ideas and writes riffs here and there, and will write lyrics and stuff like that. But it's stuff that we've always been into since high school. If you would ask anybody that's known us for a long time, they could tell you that that's the kind of stuff that we like, that we're into, and that we talk about and stuff. It started out more as like existential stuff, kind of just philosophical stuff. We also took influence from different bands who had that kind of thing. What we weren't doing and what we didn't want to do was the horror, gore, murder, rape, slit your guts kind of stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
I just, at the time I was like, damn, like, death metal's been around for a while now,
Yeah.
and everybody's doing that kind of themes and stuff like that, and we wanted to do something different and that kind of more aligned with what we were into. And that was like philosophy and existentialism, and then it got more into like some spiritual concepts, really ancient philosophies like the Vedic philosophies and ancient Egyptian stuff. We just think that stuff's cool and it's stuff you could think about forever, and you always kind of learn new things. So we use that as like the themes for up until Metamorphic Ignition. When we did that, we took all the themes we liked and then we just turned them into a concept album, like a story. So Lucid Dawn is like a sequel to Metamorphic Ignition. And we use we still, talk about awakening and stuff like that, but it's more personal because you're experiencing it through like a character that you can kind of like hopefully get in touch with and kind of experience it like that.
Yeah. How hard is to retain self-consciousness while writing music and make a clear distinction between playing and overplaying things?
When we write, we're very careful about the riffs that we do choose, and like with the writing process of Lucid Dawn, we had a very specific sound, or Jared had a very specific sound, and we were rooting through a lot of, like I wrote a lot of riffs and a lot of them didn't get used, and a lot of them did get used, but I think we really just had that particular sound, like we mentioned earlier, the combination of the technicality for like the guitar players, but also maintaining structure and like the chunky, heavier groove parts, and we weren't afraid to kind of go a little more simple with some of the heavier riffs. Even like some of the stuff's kind of easy to play, and some of it's really hard to play too, but we just wanted to maintain a consistent balance instead of just kind of write whatever the heck we wanted to write. We had a specific sound we wanted to maintain, I guess.
All right. So any 2016 tours planned?
2016 tours, we're definitely going to get out there. It's still early right now, so we're kind of putting some plans together, but we want to tour the U.S. Couple times this year, and we want to try to make it over to Europe too. So that's on the plan for 2016.
All right. I want to ask you both, Greg and Miguel, since you didn't have that chance to tour that much with Jared, if you had that chance to tour with one band of your choice, which one would you pick and why?
I don't know. What do you think, Greg? You had to pick.
I think you gotta go first. You gotta go first on this one, Miguel.
That is a definitely tough question. I would say spawn a possession.
That's good.
Like, I guess one could be like realistic, like a realistic one. Band or just a dream band, like you know, Slipknot or something. I don't know. I'd say Obscura would be
That's
fun
nice.
band to tour with, and also Opeth, because they're just one of my favorite bands. Only if they played like their older stuff, though. It'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
I
Well,
agree.
I don't mind the newer stuff, but that's just me.
What about you, Jared?
Well, I used to say Psychroptic, and I never thought I'd actually
get,
tour with Psychroptic, but that was actually a pretty dream tour
Mhm.
last year. But shoot, I don't know. I can't even think of something right now.
All right. So that's it.
Decapitated. That'd be fun.
Yeah. So that's it. Anything you would like to add?
Thanks for the interview.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Check Lucid Dawn. Check out Lucid Dawn. Listen to it however you listen to music.
We have a new music video coming out pretty soon here, so check that out. It's called The Temple of Flame.
That's great.